Okay, welcome to week 7. Let's go see how we did on the previous week. The grading notes, and down here for the project number 3. Okay, assignment 3. For those who did, kind of polarized. A lot of people did well, a lot of people did poorly. But the average was an 81. That's not bad. So 10 A's, 8 B's. Also 6 F and 13 missing. So yeah, we got some problems. I mentioned that I typically don't ask you to do things that we haven't already covered. And in fact, if you watch this little video here, I practically do the assignment for you.
How many students are going to be in the class?
I mean, I actually type out everything you need to know with the do loop and all the rest of that stuff. I mean, it's all there. So, again, if you're paying attention, taking notes, looking at all the resources we provide, I provide you a copy of the actual file that was being used. So, the chapter 3 Java file had a dang good example of the range problem. The chapter 4 had the loop for how to prompt people for score when you don't know how many there are. And then, of course, the input validation number 2 actually had a plug and play version of the prompt for integer you could have just popped in there without making any changes at all. Now, some of you are kind of missing the big picture here. Methods are designed to be small building blocks, and you're supposed to just take them and use them and interchange them. You can pull one from this application and put it in another application without making any changes whatsoever, because they're so generic that they could just be plug and play between different applications. Remember all that? Good. After all, in the assignment it says, make sure the methods are generic as possible so you can use them in other applications. You think maybe I said that for a reason? Maybe. So don't put the guts of your application inside one of these methods. These methods are designed so you just plug them and play. You could have gone to an entire application called input validation and just grabbed that one method and copied and pasted it without making any changes whatsoever. That's what we're after. Remember all that discussion? When we start talking about methods, why are we doing this? And one of them was about code reuse and all that. That's what I'm talking about here. So don't put your stuff inside there. Leave the dang things alone and write your application inside the main part. And leave the heck those things alone. Okay. So, I mentioned several times that a particular technique I want you to use for getting numeric input from the keyboard. And some of you guys still not paying attention. So since this is the third time, that's 15 points off. Can you kind of imagine how many points will be off if you do it a fourth time? Yeah. Okay, good. So I'm expecting a loop where you know it's going to run at least once, but you don't really know how many times. Okay? And the range problem. If you look at the range problem in the book, look at the range problem in the lecture notes, you look at the range problem in the videos, not a single one of those has an and in there or any type of logical operator. How does that work? Well, that's why we have a textbook. That's why we have all these things. I provide you these resources. I really kind of expect you to be looking at them. And then, of course, don't change the design of the assignment. When I give you the class diagram and it says something returns an integer, well then, by God, I expect it to return an integer. Right? Okay, so you don't have the rights to go in there and start changing the design. You have to follow the design that I give you. Okay, let's continue. Let's go look at the schedule for this week. As soon as I can get the machine to behave. So I'm going to go to modules. I'm going to go to the schedule. Okay, so so this week is, quiz 3 and journal 7. No big deal. I've also released the list of topics that are going to be in the final exam. Now, if you look at here, next week is not going to be any lecture at all. It's just going to be a video review of the stuff that's going to happen in the exam, okay? but I'm giving you the topic list a week before that. That means you have plenty of time to look at the list and perhaps send me an email saying, you know, I'm looking at item number 14 on the list, and that concept's still a little fuzzy. Could you go over that one more time? That kind of stuff. That's why I'm giving it to you early. Okay, there's nothing really special about quiz number 3. Let's just go look. I mean, so here we are at quiz 3. Covers chapters 5 and 6. Same old, same old. Okie dokie. Now let's finally get down to the modules for week 7. Week 7, chapter 7. Okay, now chapter 7 is about arrays and array lists. And if you had taken the programming logic and design, the CIS3332 recently, then you would have done this using a programming language called Python. And Python does not have native support for arrays. They have a thing that's kind of sort of like the array list, but not the array. So this is something new that you have not gotten. So up to now, I mean, well, okay, the first 5 chapters in this book, quite frankly, should have been a review. I'll admit that chapter 6 introduced some new concepts that you probably didn't get in the previous course, and this week you're introducing some more stuff that you would not have gotten from the programming logic and design. Anyway, about an hour and a half for the videos. Not that complicated, I don't think, but a lot of rules in here, and yet again, one of those horrible programming jokes. Okay, so that's it for this time, and go watch the video lectures.